Hey YouTube, Townhouse Gardener here. It's been a little bit since I've done an update. A bunch of stuff's happening. But I have been having issues with... Somebody asked me to show them... CC Balcony Gardener asked me to show them my edamame because I said that it was fully developed, had edamame all over it. And then I come out because I wanted to do it because I haven't been able to come out for a little while because of how much rain. And these things look horrible. I couldn't figure out why in the matter of a week it went, because they all looked very green before, super green, just super loaded with edamame. And then I just come out and I see caterpillars, I see grasshoppers, I have hornworms, I have all this different stuff that have just decided to take care of my edamame for me. Like, there are just so many of them. There's some down on this, there's some back in there. They're just destroying my edamame, and at this point it's kind of past. So, anyway, here is a quick bug update. I'm going to do a garden update here in a little bit. I'm just going to get my other camera for that. This is my phone. So, anyway, here is a bug. Here's a quick pan. Oh, one other issue that I did find out too. My pots really are bad. Well, the pots are good. But what my plants, like this watermelon, has been in here forever. This one was just put in, and it's doing better, but not that great. And all these other squash and zucchini, like, they are so small still. They're really not doing a thing. And it's just really annoying. So I was thinking about it, and none of my boxes really do that great in comparison to my beds. My beds are booming. I got tons all over it. And then I realized that the difference between my beds and my pots is they both have a couple different types of compost in them. But I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't put any peat moss, and I didn't put any like vermiculite, anything to help aerate the potting mix. That way the roots have somewhere to go. So I just didn't do it, and because I think I was either just trying to save money or I just wanted to fill the pots up real quick. Like, even these, I didn't do it. My sunflowers, any of my buckets, the only stuff that I put peat moss and vermiculite in were my 4x4 beds. So what I'm going to end up doing is, when I go to plant my fall garden, because I want to do a bunch of cabbage and broccoli and kohlrabi and just a bunch of different stuff, soybeans again, all these different fall garden stuff, I'm actually going to go ahead and dump a bucket, one of these, out into my wheelbarrow, mix in some vermiculite, mix in some peat moss, and then go ahead and pour it back in to get the soil amended. And I'll probably put a little bit more compost in it. And then that way, in hopes that I'll really be able to improve the soil and mix it all the way through rather than just putting some on the top. So, here is that. Well, might as well just do the whole update. I'm going to do it quick though. My loofah, nothing, it's just growing tall. Ants are all over it, they love it. And that's going there. My blueberry, I actually have blueberries on it, which I had a couple of them, but they were a little sour, so I was just letting them go a little bit more. My parsnips are the tall ones, which I let go. My rutabagas are coming up, but they are being eaten by something. I'm not sure what it is. Brussels sprouts. I trim the tops, or the leaves. I just always do it. One main reason is just because it shades everything, and then two, it's just I don't think we need them all. So my sunflowers, so that's That sunflower is about the same height as my post, which is 8 feet tall. So I got an 8-foot tall sunflower. Strawberries, I haven't done a thing to this bed. I'm just kind of letting them go, and they can do what they want, spread how they want. And then I'm going to actually dig up the roots. So I'm going to let the runners, everything, it's all going to produce roots. And I'm going to move all this to the side of the house. Probably in the late fall when it's cool. My mammoth sunflower, I think this is the same thing. I don't have any peat moss. I don't have any of that stuff in here. So it's just kind of not doing much. The best thing is my cherry tomatoes. I got a bunch of them. I had one, and yeah, they definitely taste better than in the store. They just taste richer. So, and you can see all my cuttings. I heavily prune my plants, just because it is just July, and some of them, I don't know how long they're going to last, especially because a lot of my blossoms keep falling off. So I'm just kind of letting it go. My Marconis look great. They're real big, probably ready to pick, but I've been told that they change colors, so I'm just letting them go. All my peppers overall are doing great. My cayenne is loaded with them. Here's another one starting to turn. I pulled off a big one that turned. My gypsy, when I pulled out some of the leaves, I'm so amazed at how many tomatoes are actually on this thing. It's just huge clusters. My cucumbers are doing great. They are still producing. I've probably pulled off, I don't know, maybe 25 or so cucumbers off of this. All my peppers are doing good. My raspberry plant is doing good. Rutgers, I'm just waiting for those to produce. It's not growing any taller. The grow stem, I guess, either broke off, cut off, or just didn't develop. So there's that. My brandywine, which I pruned these two. I left the foliage all at the top, but then down at the bottom it just has the tomatoes. So, I mean, that's one heck of a cluster, and these ones are actually turning now, so which is cool. My eggplant, I actually think, let me see if I can find it. I actually have my first eggplant. First eggplant I've ever grown. I got a bunch of purple bells on here. Just letting them grow. Banana peppers. Banana peppers, I think, are high producers for everybody. But it's just, I got them all over. So I'm going to pickle them. My brandywine. My kale, I actually ended up doing it a little differently. The first time I did it, I started trimming when I won the harvest. I started trimming my leaves down at the bottom, and nothing ever came back. But then I saw somebody else do it. I think it was C. Fencer or something. He went and he just pretty much cut the top off and then just left the bottom row of leaves. And he said it would grow back. And sure enough, it has. So now it's super full, which is great. My marigold, it's going nuts. It's completely shaded out my oregano, completely shaded out my rosemary. Basil is doing great. Purple basil is doing awesome. Sunflowers, I just pruned them. It's just those were all the sunflowers that were dying. These definitely not a big head variety. As you saw, my edamame, my corn, which is doing just fine. Beans, I haven't done a thing with them. I've just let them grow. My more cucumbers that I had planted. My squash is doing great. I keep hand pollinating everything just because I actually want squash. So, I mean, I got a bunch of them all over it. Loofah compost tumbler's doing good. This is the voluntary tomato plant. I don't prune this, I don't do anything to it, I just let it go. So there's that. My beans. These are the purple string beans. My corn. Tiger eye sunflowers. I'm looking forward to seeing what these are going to look like. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is about the same. The one thing with my corn was it was turning very yellow. Extremely yellow. And I know they're high feeders. And these are small containers for it. It was just an experiment to see what happened. I didn't know how well it would do. But I went ahead and I put, because money is kind of tight at the moment, so I had a bag of cow compost manure. And I went and I pretty much just side dressed these. And then I mixed up some compost tea and I watered it. And they're actually a lot greener than what they were. They were extremely yellow. They look like, I don't know if this can pick up the center of this. That's what they look like. They were super yellow. So I didn't want to take any videos just because I didn't really want anybody to see my yellow plants. So, well, anyway, they are greener now. And I got more compost tea brewing. Just doing good. One thing, sorry about the AC unit kicked on. One thing that I've started doing, I have so much produce. I really do. And I want to buy bags of vermiculite. I want to get a couple cubes of peat moss. But recently, I was actually let go from my job. And I'm doing some different things. And I mean, we're doing all right. And I'm searching for a new one. But because we cannot afford to put any money into this, no matter whether it's $1, $100, it doesn't matter. And the whole point of doing this is to be self-sufficient. I don't want to have a garden, so it costs me more money. I want to reap the benefits of it year after year, so that way it saves me money. So what I've done is, because I know I'm going to need seeds coming up, I know I'm going to need the vermiculite, the peat moss, the different things, I've actually gone and on Facebook I started selling my produce, just cucumbers, and all I really have to sell is cucumbers, squash, cherry tomatoes. I got my onions hung up over there next to my post. I was hesitant about doing it because I would rather give stuff away than to sell it. But then I just decided that it's not going to be much. It's only going to be a few bucks here or there. Like, I'm selling everything super cheap. But yeah, so I am now selling some of my produce, like for 50 cents, for a quarter, for whatever, in hopes to be able to fund my garden. So that way the things that I can't save seeds from, some of my tomatoes, like the only tomato plant that I have, or two that I have that were actually my heirloom ones, is my gypsy one, the one with the big cluster, and then the tall cherry tomato. So the rest of those are all from like Home Depot or a nursery or something like that. So I don't want to save those seeds. I only want to save the heirloom. Only certain peppers are heirloom. So I'm going to have a bunch of seeds to get and whatnot, but I'm just trying to get ready for the fall. And yeah, so this is something new that I'm doing, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. If you have any comments or suggestions on what you think I can do to help these pots, if you think that just the vermiculite and the peat moss will do it, if you can let me know. If you think that it's something else that I have to do, let me know. Just keep in mind, everything I do is 100% organic. I do not, especially since I'm selling stuff now too, but I'm doing everything. I do not put anything in here unless it's 100% organic. So anyway, let me know. I appreciate the time of you guys watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Alright, bye.